I'm saying is the mind is strange because when you elevate to a level, you think you deserve that and you stay there. And it's like, then if I went back down, and that's why now I know I could go back to living on the floor because I did that. I became this UFC fighter, Vegas, San Diego, America guy, living on a yacht. I lived on a yacht for 2 years, drove a G-Wagon for 2 years, had this life. Then it all ended. People cared who I was, TV, reality TV, celebrity. Then it all ends. I come back to the UK. No one gives a fuck about fighting in the UK. No one cares about the UFC. No one cares about the Ultimate Fighter. In America, I'm like a celebrity. I walk in a bar. They're crazy, right? Yeah. Come back to the UK and no one cares. And I'm like, oh. And then I really understood that it was like false, you know, and it only comes down to who you are and your values as a person and your understanding. And that experience for me was probably the most valuable thing I got out of my time in the UFC and in the Ultimate Fighter. Again, floor, chicken, rice, get a piece of paper, you can have whatever you want. 2 weeks later, I believed that I deserved this piece of paper that's magically been given me. Yeah, I should be able to eat whatever I want. You'd be amazed at how quickly you change. Everyone says it because you don't stay grounded, because the people around you are not grounded, right? So it's like everyone's doing it. Everyone's like this fame-hungry bullshit. Once you understand that, and I've been through the cycle of it, of like this. So next time it happens to me, I'll deal with it a bit better, you know, because you just do. So there's the same now what I'm saying with money, the cycle of money. I've gone from making, you know, 6 figures, then you make 7 figures, and then you think you made it. So well, you can still make 8, you can still make 9, you can still make 10. Yeah. It depends what you feel comfortable with. Like you put it better than me, but I'm just trying to give it like a real life example of my life. And I think the guys listening to this, again, to make it more, go back to what we're talking about, like if you haven't got the balls or whatever you want to call it to go through that cycle of okay, I made 6, I made 7, now I make 6, now I make 5, man, now I'm broke. Okay, now I've got to go through it again. Like you said about being robbed in Barcelona, they call it, someone said this so well to me, they call it social death. Yeah. So if you experience social death, which when you got robbed, that was like your social death, because I'm sure you were projecting some lifestyle, you were living some life, then you got robbed and you were broke and you were like, I got to go back to living this life again. So you socially died, and it's embarrassing, you know. And if you don't want to deal with that embarrassment, then just keep working as a teacher or whatever you're doing.
But like till this day, I still feel that pain. You talk about it, I'm like, damn, I remember. And that's deep, man. I love what you said about also hitting back to rock bottom. Like once you taste success, once you taste luxury, it's so hard to get back to nothing. You know, like let's be honest here, man. Like the fact that you say I'm willing to risk it all to fucking go back to nothing, like most people cannot do that. You know, because I went all in. I'm an all risk kind of guy. So I went all in on jewelry. I was like, this e-commerce, I believe in it. We made my own line, everything. And I still am very good friends with Maxu Tracks NYC in New York, where we did the collaboration with. And man, when you have absolutely nothing again, like I'm talking like nothing, no passport, not even, you know, everything was in there. It's like, okay, all right, I got my mindset. I gotta get my mind right. And then when my mind was right again, you know, then that's all you have, brother. That's all you got in the end. All the other stuff doesn't really matter in the end. And then we come to another very important element: your circle. You know, and you know this with the War Room, and a lot of the War Room members are good friends of mine. And it's like, this is the kind of guys you need around you, you know, because who's really gonna, you know, be there for you? Who's really gonna be there for you? Most people are just full of shit. A lot of fluff here as well in this area. So you gotta keep your circle very small, you know, and you gotta protect it. And you gotta really know who has your back. You know, when shit hits the fan, and when you got some trouble, or when you in jail, or whatever the fuck can happen, who's gonna show up? Regardless of the situation.
Well, I think that's 100%. Yeah. But I think the understanding you said about it, like going broke or whatever, understanding your true value to society, and you said your mindset. And I believe, and everyone knows that in the next, we're going into some crazy times at the moment, like crazy times. No one knows what's going on in the world. But in the next, I'm going to live another 50 years without a doubt, hopefully. If
God bless
like
you. Yeah.
if in the next 50 years there's going to be bump, recession, depression, this, no one knows what's going to happen, right? Your family members are going to go. There's going to be such hard times. I know, like I said, I can, because of my mindset, because of the places I've been, because I've been here, then I've been here. Your body and your mind and your world can adjust. You can adjust. Whether it's a positive or a negative, I know I can definitely adjust. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, life used to be like this. Like, we could go into World War III. We could be on rations, like I said, like my dad was. I'll thrive in any situation. And that is where I get that safety from.
Yeah.
We said about safety. I know I will adjust and thrive in any situation because that's the sort of man that I am. And that is the pressure I put on myself.
Yeah.
And maybe that gives me a ceiling to the level of success that I can achieve financially or whatever you want to call it. But I know if things get tough and hard, I'm the guy you want to call on. That's my mentality. I'm the guy that's going to be there, and I'm going to be, you know, when you talk about the war room and my brothers and all these people, we're going to sit together and think, right, this has happened. What are we going to do? I know. And that for me gives me the most safety and belief in myself. And I think the only reason I have this is because of my journey through fighting and going from sleeping on the floor to going to that mansion and living that life. That all happened in like 22 months. I went from like turning professional to fighting in the UFC, which is a very, very short amount of time. I truly believe from that, because when you start converting things and things start going your way, I think 3 years in your life, you can achieve anything. Like anything you want, if you truly dedicate your life to something. And again, mentioned the war room. I don't really talk much about it, but like with Andrew and with what's going on with him, here's the famous thing that he says that really hits home for me. And it's, if you truly give everything to something 100% and you try, you will always achieve it.